What have Dennis and Greg long taught me? They taught me all about my intuition. For many years, I didn't even know what that word meant, intuition. And I never imagined a word like that would be something you would use or refer to when training. I was like the rest of the people around the world where training's training. And it's very regimented. And it's very just routine. But they showed me that using your intuition will actually make things not routine, but more spontaneous and more. It's much more deeper than what we see at the surface. So I'll give you an example. A routine. Okay, you're going to do 3 sets of this, 10 reps, and that's it. Well, that shouldn't be just it. Because like Greg would say to me, the body is a forever changing organism, and you have to constantly keep it guessing in order to make any kind of progress, to grow. And that requires not putting limitations or restrictions on it. So when you start saying do 10 reps, why 10? Why not 12? So ultimately it comes down to the sensation. And in order to receive those sensations, you have to use your intuition and think outside the box in order to make gains. And when you do that, you're not just making physical gains, you're making mental gains. But training with Dennis and Greg has been a real education. And they sort of put me on the path to where I'm able to do it myself and do it in a way where it's much deeper and the results are that much greater. And but they've shared with me, taught me the importance of life even. I mean, I've known these things for years, but to put it in their perspective and hear their side of it, it puts a little twist on it. And you can imagine 2 guys in their 70s who've been training a combined over, say, 100 years. What's it going to do to your mentality? What kind of mindset are you going to have? What type of outlook will you have on life? Well, I was subjected to that firsthand. And I've heard countless conversations from Dennis and Greg and just talking about real life stuff. Real life stuff. Not stuff you're going to hear at the office or at the bar or in your house. But we were talking about very philosophical, very deep, meaningful stuff. And I'll tell you, it's almost like every time I would leave that gym, I would come away a more enriched person, a better person, more insightful. And it's all because of their years, their dedication and commitment to training and learning how to use their mind. But this probably doesn't need to be said, but I mean, also the importance of life. Whereas, what's most important? It's definitely not material things. And it's not your status. It's not how much you know. So, there's a lot of things internally that I think we neglect and forget to work on. And that's something I'm subjected to almost on the daily because I'm around Dennis and Greg and that environment in their gym. So they're from a different fabric. They truly are. And I'm happy to say that I'm in that same box as they are. At one time, they were probably looked at as misfits or the outsiders or weird. And I felt the same way for many years. But they've helped me put it into perspective and embrace it and look at it like, well, actually, Ken, it's because you probably know something that the rest of the world doesn't. You figured some things out for yourself, which helps you make better decisions and are more in tune with yourself. You know, more intuitive and more it's easier now these days to use my intuition for certain things, and one of those is, of course, training. But they've taught me a lot, and this, I'm not even touching probably the surface, scratching the surface.